It doesn't matter to him that illegal immigration and the crime rate are as low as they've been in decades.
Donald Trump and Mike Pence want to let big banks run wild again. Republicans want to tear down the pillars of middle-class security.
Trump says that in his first hour in the Oval Office, he'll roll back safeguards that we already have.
Donald Trump, on the other hand, has actually said, quote, wages are too high.
Some bold claims made by Democrats at the DNC, slamming Republicans and Donald Trump. So, who was lying and who was telling the truth? Here for a fact check, senior writer for Opportunity Lives and founder of Bold Global Media, Carrie Sheffield. Thank you for joining us this morning once again.
Yes, great to be here. Good to see you again.
So first of all, let's deal with this. Hillary Clinton, she says that she's not here to take away your guns. Listen.
I'm not here to repeal the Second Amendment. I'm not here to take away your guns.
All right, Carrie, true or false?
I'm afraid it's false. Based on everything we know about Hillary Clinton. In fact, last fall, she came out, she was asked in a debate, who are your enemies? And she said Republicans, but she also said the National Rifle Association. So she sees these people, gun owners, as her enemies. She's also basically, case law that has favored gun owners and given them rights. She's spoken out against that. In terms of SCOTUS and who would be the judges she would name, she would most likely name judges who are opposed to gun rights, including the Heller case, which allowed for handgun ownership.
Well, so she was part of the Obama administration for 4 years as Secretary of State. And here is President Obama touting his accomplishments over 8 years. Listen.
We've seen deficits come down, 401ks recover, an auto industry set new records, unemployment reach 8-year lows, and our businesses create 15 million new jobs. Through diplomacy, we shut down Iran's nuclear weapons program. We put policies in place to help students with loans, protect consumers from fraud, cut veterans' homelessness almost in half.
True or false?
Well, it's true technically, but once you dig into the numbers and you dig into the real story, it doesn't look as great as he's painting this rosy picture. Let's talk about veterans, for example. He's touting how great veterans are. Well, Heather, we all know that veterans have been suffering in this country. So for him to claim that veterans are doing so much better with veterans homelessness, well, what about the VA scandal and the thousands of people who are on waiting lists and people who are dying waiting for Veterans Affairs care? I just think it's completely wrong, and it's sad for him to tout this as one of his achievements. As well as he's talking about deficit reduction. The deficit reduction happened under a Republican Congress, and for him to take credit for it without even, it was a very partisan speech on the part of the president. He also talked about unemployment. Unemployment is artificially low because of underemployment and also because of discouraged people who have left the labor force and have stopped looking for work. This generation, in a generation, is the lowest percentage of people working, and it's under this president, as well as the expansion of the welfare state. This president somehow thinks that if you expand the welfare state, that's healthy. That should be a sign of distress. And that's the reality of this economic policy under this president.
And more people on food stamps and more people living in poverty as well.
Right.
Bernie Sanders, he says that Trump does not support raising the minimum wage. Listen to this.
He does not support raising the federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour, a starvation wage. While Trump believes in huge tax breaks for billionaires, he believes that states should actually have the right to lower the minimum wage below $7.25.
All right, true or false?
Well, that's a big fat F for false. Donald Trump does support raising the minimum wage. He has indicated that. But the thing is, when Sanders said this is a starvation wage, that is just a politician who is spouting off. He's being dishonest. It is not a starvation wage. The reality is that very few workers actually are on the minimum wage, and it's a stepladder for people to be able to get their first job. The first people who are fired once you hike the minimum wage, it's young people, it's people of color. So basically, Bernie Sanders, and log on to BET, it's an African-American website, website. They've done research and shown, you know, with the minimum wage hike, it hurts black Americans. And Bernie Sanders is supporting that, and he's trying to basically twist Donald Trump's words in this case.
Carrie Sheffield, thank you so much. Appreciate it.